Greetings, comrades. Hope this finds you well. So, obviously, think we should all be people who are choosing to vote here in the U.S. should be considering a third-party candidate, because a vote for, Biden, they prop him up, or lifeless course, or Kamala Harris, or if it's Trump or another Republican nominee, just to vote for more war, more austerity, more empire, more death and destruction, both here and abroad. I forgot who said it. I believe it was some type of philosopher, or maybe revolutionary, but they said, the U.S. has one political party, but with typical American extravagance, they have two. Obviously, they were saying that they both serve the same interests. He's completely on point with that. And two, third parties that I think we should be considering supporting would be the Green Party, potentially with Cornel West as the nominee, or the PSL, the Party for Socialism and Liberation, and two candidates seeking to fill that role for them are Claudia de la Cruz and then Karina Garcia. Claudia is the presidential nominee on the ticket, and Karina as the vice president, and they were on Black Power Media the other day. Definitely, if you haven't checked out Black Power Media, definitely very, very good content there. A lot of really hard-hitting and just very, very great perspective and analysis on a lot of things. And they had the candidates, I should say, and they were asked, why should people consider supporting the PSL, or you two, over Cornel West in the Green Party? What's the difference? And they gave some really good a really good response in my opinion. So let's check this out here. So this is Kamal Franklin asking,
in the race. And we've had that competitor, Cornel West, on the platform a few times. So I'm curious about, and I bring it up because politically speaking, that person may be the person who is most closely aligned politically with some of the similar positions I'd assume that y'all take. And you guys have done a great job of sort of keeping this under wraps, right? So folks like me are outside, had no idea until boom, the video dropped or whatever. So I'm assuming this has been planned for a little while. So I have a sort of a two-part question. What is the impact when you knew that sort of a Cornel West figure had entered the race? And did that play any role in terms of you guys deciding to and or not to enter the race? And then two, what is the difference? So why should, if I'm a lefty and I want to use my vote as a vote that is going to be against the dominant parties, why should I choose you over the Green Party / Cornel West at this particular time? So what's the difference in the campaigns around your ideas, or what makes your run different than someone else who's considered an outsider as in a Cornel West?
I mean, I could start. I think we were, at least I was happy.
All right, so again, Claudia is running for the presidency, and then Karina would be the vice president on the ticket.
And the party was also expressing a lot of enthusiasm for having someone like Cornel West run as a third party. We have a long history of collaborating with Cornel West. We have a lot of respect for him. And as you mentioned, Kamal, like, there is a significant difference that I'm happy to speak about, and I know Karina's happy to speak about as well. And one of the biggest differences is that we are under the discipline of a socialist political party.
PSL.
We're not individuals. And the socialist political party is one that doesn't show up every 4 years. Is one that does work every day on the ground, that has a presence, that is working.
And I can really speak to that too, just from a local perspective here in the Pacific Northwest. A lot of the different, events or kind of protests that I've been to recently, the PSL have been a part of that talk that was given about, ending the blockade, ending the sanctions on Cuba. PSL members were a part of that. They were also marching with mushroom workers who were, I believe, going on strike, or at least, protesting the poor treatment they were receiving from their employer. They have been organizing in the past. I think it was maybe March or April, and an anti-war rally, a pro-peace rally, wanting to end the proxy war in Ukraine, and as well as organizing events outside the Northwest Detention Center. So lots of good stuff.
With communities and comes from working class people. And that's a huge difference. It's, we live in a society that uplifts individuals, and it's very easy for folks to get co-opted into becoming celebrity movement activists without having organization or a project to be accountable to, without having a community to be accountable to. I've been doing organizing work, like I mentioned earlier, sometime while I was here, the many times I was here, since I was 13 years old, and never has it been outside of an organization. Never has it been outside of a space that I am accountable to a group of people for what I say and what I do. Never outside of a collective discussion to be able to make a decision. And that's a huge difference. We're doing this to build that type of organization. We think it's extremely important to have as many groups outside of the corporate duopoly run. And we're very excited to see Dr. West run, because it is true. We have a lot of alignment in a lot of things. We are, though, running explicitly as socialists, explicitly within the Party for Socialism and Liberation, with all of its history, from the 20 years that it has working on the ground and building not only nationally, but also internationally. And it's something that I mean, speaking for myself, I know, Karina and I've been working for over a decade together in organizing in New York City and nationally, and now internationally as well. The party has, in a lot of ways, shaped and molded and allowed for political growth that I could not have been able to do that individually. And so I think it's important to be able to raise that, because when we exist in a country that tries to divert young people from becoming political within political organization, that's extreme mistake. That's a huge mistake we make. And so for us, it's a slight difference, but it's a significant difference that we need to be able to point out. So
can I just say that I love that answer? Sorry to interrupt. I just love that answer.
I thought the same thing. I was like, that was a very good.
That was very dope. What does that say? Oh, right. Let me hold up, Jackie. Hold up. So hold that up again. I didn't.
I didn't see it.
Let's hold it up again. Hold it up higher. I can't see it. Oh, let's fucking go. Right, exactly. Right on. No doubt. That was, and I will just even have, like, I really do appreciate the PSL structure and policies, even as admittedly, personally, I ran into its wall, and I appreciated the logic behind it. I mean, so I really love that answer. I mean, I hope people. I hope it. Yeah. Sorry. Let me stop. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Who wanted to jump in? Go ahead.
I mean, first of all, let me say that when I saw the announcement that you, Claudia, were stepping down, taking a leave of absence from the People's Forum, my trauma brain was like, "What happened to Claudia?" So I'm like waiting, and I didn't want to call you because I didn't want to get in your business. And then this announcement comes out, and I was like, "Oh my God!" So this is, I think, extremely important in a moment where I think people in this country are finally hurting enough that socialism makes sense.
That's right.
And I hate to frame it that way, but I really do think that's the truth, that socialism becomes a legitimate alternative for people because this government that has demonized socialism and communism for decades, people are seeing that this government isn't doing anything for them. So they're like, well, you know.
All right. Well, definitely the rest of that interview is worth checking out. They have a lot of really good insight and responses to the questions, some really insightful questions too that are being asked by the BPM crew there. But it's pretty interesting, right? I don't really see the Green Party on the ground here, at least where I live, trying to organize the working class around these different issues. But the PSL is always there, and they're organized across the U.S. And like they said, they have a lot of international solidarity. A lot of the members seem like have traveled to Cuba as part of those different brigades, bringing aid and solidarity to Cuba and all of the great people there that have upheld the Cuban Revolution. Not to say the Green Party platform is suspect or anything like that, but these candidates have this organization behind them to hold them accountable. And they're not just part of the election cycle. Their momentum and movement, they want to keep building political power, outside the ballot box as well. And it seems like the Green Party and perhaps Cornel West is a little bit more just focused on the electoral process, but you need, kind of those different elements to gain that political power as well. So pretty interesting, right? Peace, much love, all power of the people.